Hey y'all. Okay, I am finally back in the kitchen tonight and we're going to do these loaded up baked potato salad that I've been talking about. You can call them loaded baked potato, loaded mashed potatoes, whatever you want to call it, potato salad. Anyway, it's a good little dish, and I can't remember if I've made this with y'all before, but I know I always do it different. I have my potatoes in the oven right now cooking. I'm fixing to get them out. We're going to get started on that. But before we do that, I'm going to show you what I'm going to have with them. I am just going to cook me these little smoked sausages. I don't know if y'all have ever had these. This is that same brand that I use for my regular smoked sausage, but these are smaller, like hot dog size. But it's just the smoked sausage. 6 comes in this pack, and they're like $3.75 for the pack of 6. So it's a really good deal. You can do so many different things with these, y'all, and this is perfect if you live alone. I know a lot of people tell me they live alone and they like recipes that they can make for just 1 or 2. You can, let me get these in here and I'll tell you more about them. Yeah, the skillet's getting hot. And I scored these a little bit, y'all. As you can see here on each side. You don't, sometimes I do this, sometimes I don't. I decided to tonight. But like I was saying, what's so great about these is it comes 6 in a pack, and you can get out whatever you want. And then this is just a storage bag, but if I were putting these in the freezer, I would put them in a freezer bag, and then you can just get out. They freeze really well to where you can get them out individually. You know, if you need to get 1 out or 2 or whatever, and they're so good. You can eat them as like a hot dog. You can eat them like sauteed up with some onions and peppers. You could do it with sauerkraut. You could make a potato and sausage dish. You know, you can do so many different things with these. And like I said, 6 for $3.75. You really cannot beat it. And I love them. They're so good. Tonight, I'm going to eat it kind of like a hot dog, but I'm not going to have a bun because y'all don't love bread. So I'm just going to fix that. It's like a hot dog with my loaded baked potato salad. Okay? So let me tell you what I've done with my potatoes so far. So I diced them up and soaked them in some water for a little bit. Do that if you have time. If you don't worry about it. And I left the skin on. I did about 2 pounds of Yukon Gold potatoes. I'd had them and I had to use them. So I had to make this dish or make something with them. And so then I just, after they drained really well, I put them on my baking sheet. I oiled them down with some oil, and then I added salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and a little bit of paprika. Popped them in the oven on 425. I've had them cooking now. I guess they've been cooking about 45 minutes. I've gotten them out and kind of tossed them around a little bit. About halfway through, I do like to put on a couple pats of butter on top. It just kind of helps give them that little bit of crisp on the outside, and they're just so good and gold and buttery. But you can skip that if you don't want to deal with the butter. You can certainly skip that, but I did that. So I'm going to say you would cook them anywhere. I mean, they were probably done in 30 minutes, but I like to cook them for a little bit. So I'm going to say I'm probably cooking mine anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour on 425. But doing this dish, y'all, you can cook your potatoes any way you want to cook them. You can boil them like you would just a regular potato salad. You can bake your potatoes and mix it all up. I like to do this little roasting method. If you've never tried it, I want you to try it. It just kind of gives them a little bit of a different flavor. Just one of those little things that will kind of help it stand out. And you'll see what I mean whenever you see them. But I'm just going to cook these little sausages, y'all. And I'm going to get the potatoes out here in just a second. And I've got everything ready, and we're going to mix those up. And just a quick little meal tonight. Y'all know I'm cooking for 1 tonight, so it's something I'm getting used to, but so I'm going to be right there with all of you cooking for 1. But anyway, I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, y'all, look at our potatoes. Goodness gracious. It's going to be hard to not eat these just the way that they are because they're so good. Look at them. They're nice and soft on the inside. They have a little bit of a, I can't really explain it how they feel on the outside, but they're perfect. I'm telling you. All right, so now what we got to do, we got to get these in this big bowl here without spilling them everywhere. Let me see. How do I want to do this? Goodness gracious. Let me see. Let me see if I can get them down in there like this. Woo! This pan is still so hot. I've tried to let them sit out here and cool for a second. But let's see. Maybe this will work. Woo! I'm losing a few. There we go. Uh-oh. There went one. Okay. That worked okay. Alright. So now we have those in there. There's one in the floor, but that's okay. I have my little hot dogs. Well, this sausage, but I call it hot dogs. I have them over here cooking, and y'all may be looking at them thinking they're burning. They're not. I like for them to be roasted up like you cooked them over a campfire. That's how I like for mine to look, y'all. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of take my fork. Let me get y'all straightened up here. And I'm going to kind of mash just a little bit on some of them. I don't want this to be just mush, but I do want to mash some of them up just a tiny bit. Okay? Oh, yeah. That's perfect. Alright. Yep. Alright, I'm going to leave it just like that. And now we're going to start mixing our good stuff in, y'all. And these are perfect. This is so good. Good side dish for any occasion. I'm telling you. All right, so what all do I have here? Let's do some sour cream. Let me get my spoon out. That's a big blob there. So let's say, that's probably about a cup of sour cream, okay? And I like a lot of sour cream. And tonight I'm going to do mayo. I don't always put mayo in this dish. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So just know if you don't like mayo, you can leave this out and they will still be good. Tonight, I'm going to go ahead and put some in there. All right, and I'm not going to do that much. I'm thinking, let's see. That may be 1/4, 1/3 of a cup or so. Where's my cheese at? Y'all, this is so simple and easy. If you're kind of an inexperienced cook or kind of learning, this is a perfect little dish to take to your gathering, and everybody will love it, okay? Put you some shredded cheese in there, however much you want. That's probably 1/2 cup or a little bit over. All right, and then I have some green onions here. I'm gonna put some in. We won't save some because we're gonna put some on top. Okay, got that. And then, y'all, I've got my stuff all over the place in here in the kitchen. Then I've got some bacon here that I just fried up. Okay, so we're going to put some of that in. Of course, we want to keep some of that to go on top. And check my little sausages over here. I'm going to go ahead and turn those off because we about got this done anyway. All right, so we're going to give this a good mix. That looks great. I think we may be right on the money of our ingredients that we added. Looks really good. Maybe a little bit more sour cream because I want it to be a little bit, I don't want it to be as thick. So I'm going to do a little bit more. Mix that around. And you see here, you know, those potatoes were so soft, it kind of mushes up, but you're still going to have your pieces and your chunks in there, which is what I like, okay? Let me taste it real quick. Get a spoon out there. See where we're at with it. That is delicious. I like it. Y'all, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get a bow out, and we're gonna bow this up in a different container, and then we're gonna decorate the top of it up. I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, I have it all put down here in our little bowl, and I'm going to top this off, y'all, and then we're gonna pop it back in the oven. That's another thing that I don't always do with this. Sometimes I just leave it as is. Sometimes I pop it back in the oven. You can serve this dish hot. You can serve it room temperature, cold, however you want to do it. And it's good anyway. I'm telling you, it is so good. But tonight I'm just wanting it to be a little more creamy. I'm wanting to melt that cheese inside there a little bit. And then once it cools off, it will still be just as good. But now we're going to top it with some of our cheese. So like I said, this is a very easy little dish. If you're just trying to learn to cook, or you know, not that much into it, or a little bit inexperienced, this is the perfect little dish because it's so easy. And everybody will love it, I promise you. I'll save out those few little pieces of bacon for Bill. And then I'm going to put some all of our onions here on top. I'm going to put all of these on there because I love them. I'm just going to put them all on there. Okay? I have my oven. Well, shoot. I thought I did. I thought I turned it on. I am going to pop this back in the oven on 350 for just a few minutes, just to get it good and hot and bubbly, y'all. And this will be so good, okay? I'll be back in here in just a second. Hey, y'all, look at our potatoes here. Oh, my goodness, do they not look good? We're going to get some out real quick so maybe they can start cooling while we get our little hot dog fixed up here. Let's see, where's my spoon at? Let me grab one. Let's do this one. I put these in the oven, y'all, on 350 for maybe 10-15 minutes at the most. Not very long at all. And like I said, you do not even have to do that. You can serve them as is, and they're good just like that too. I just wanted tonight, I decided to go this route. It's just like a big loaded potato already all mixed up. So look at it. That look good. I've got my hot dog on here, or my sausage, and then I got me a little bit of that coleslaw that I'm still eating on, and I would love to put some sauerkraut on the hot dog. Like I said, it would be really good, but since I'm having coleslaw, I didn't want to do that. So those other few that I have left, I may do some sauerkraut one night with the rest of them, okay? So let me show you how I like to fix up my little sausage here. Just basically like I just do a hot dog. It's really good the exact same way. I like to do some mustard. I love mustard, y'all. Okay. Now I've got some relish here. I put my relish in this little bowl because I was out and I had to run to the dollar store and grab some, and all they had was these little squeeze bottles. And I don't really like it in the squeeze bottle. I like it in the little jar, but you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. So I thought, well, I'll just get it out and put it in a little bowl, and that way I can just spoon it over like I normally would. So I just do this like I would if it were on a bun, except there's no bun there. You do it like that. Okay. And then I have some onions here that I'm going to sprinkle over the top. Just kind of load this thing up. And then I have a little bit of pickle here. And you may be thinking, why do you do pickle and relish? Well, that's because I like to do sweet relish and then I do dill pickle. Are y'all like that? I love dill pickles. And I will occasionally, I don't mind a bread and butter pickle, but I never eat dill relish. I don't know what it is about it. I just do not like it. I like for my relish to be sweet relish. Isn't it funny how we like just different little things like that? Okay, y'all, here is my little dinner tonight. Now, see what I'm saying? You can make a little dinner for one, which I know we made a big batch of the potatoes, but I had to do something because I did not want them to ruin. But we have our little loaded mashed potato salad or whatever you want to call it here, y'all. Oh, man. It's going to be good. And I like it always. Like I said, I like it cooked just straight out of the oven like that. It's good room temperature. If you're taking it somewhere, you don't have to worry about if it gets cold or whatever, because it's still good. It's good any way you serve it. It's still really good. Okay? That had some mustard on it, but it was still good. I'm gonna try me another bite. I would say it's just like a loaded potato. And this is what's great about doing the little scores in your sausage or hot dog, whatever you can call it, because it's so much easier to cut because you already have those little cuts in there, and it's just like bite-sized pieces whenever you do the cuts, and so it works out perfect. Let's get a bite of one of these. I love these little sausages, y'all. Those are so good, I'm telling you. I love them. And y'all, this coleslaw almost seems like it gets better by the day. It is still so good. And y'all see it has made a ton. I've been eating on it for how many days now? It is still just delicious. Okay, y'all. I'm not going to keep y'all while I just keep eating. But I wanted to get on here and show y'all those potatoes because I had already told you about them. I got mustard on my finger. So I wanted to get those made up real quick. And like I said, I had those potatoes. I didn't want them to ruin. But if you've never tried the little smoked sausages like that, try them. You'll love them. They're delicious. You can do so many different things with them. They're great to throw on the grill if you already have a certain meat. They're great just as a little addition to toss on there. You know, if somebody wants a little something extra, they're perfect. And they're great on a bun just as a hot dog and some sauerkraut too. I think that's how I'm going to have the rest of them is with some sauerkraut. Anyway, y'all, me and Belle got to go for our walk. We've been slacking lately. We've been so busy, but we got to get back at it. Anyway, I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.